I've got lots of great questions today, including one on long-term potato storage. Thanks for joining us on Questions and Answers with James Townsend and Son. So here's the first question, and this is from, I think it's Luke Caper, and the video is how to season your cast iron. And he says, this video is great. So is this a once and done kind of deal, or do you have to keep repeating it every time you want to cook? So seasoning your cast iron should be a once and done kind of thing. You will have to repeat it if you damage the lining or the coating of your cookware. So if you don't wash it properly or you damage it with utensils, then you will have to re-season it. Michael Woods commenting and has a question on the egg preservation video that we just did. And he says, another great video. When storing in a lime solution, is there any downside? Does the lime have a certain taste that would be imparted to the eggs? Some references, some of the historic references do talk about the lime affecting the taste of the eggs after a long period of time. So there is a downside. At some point, you will get, some sort of limey kind of flavor, which I'm not sure exactly what that would be, kind of a musky or a dank flavor to it maybe. Again, on the egg preservation video, Logan V0410, he says, for slaked lime, get pickling lime. It's chemically the same stuff. And I think that's a great idea because pickling lime is much easier to find. If you go into the canning section of any kind of hardware store or other like a grocery store, they quite likely will have pickling lime. Now, it's definitely more expensive, but you're probably not going to be doing a whole huge number of them. So the cost is, not so bad. And that pickling lime is specifically meant for food-safe situations, whereas building lime, like I was using, you're not quite sure what kind of things might be in it. I don't think it would be very dangerous because it's if there's anything weird in the lime, not very much of it's going to get through the shell, but pickling lime is a great idea. Another one on the egg preservation. That was a very popular video. Andrea Hansen says, which breeds of chickens were you referring to? And I talked about some breeds of chickens from the 18th century not being very popular today or even endangered. And some of the more popular breeds in the 18th century, even specifically in America, the Dominique, Java, Polish chickens, silky chickens, bantams, and the frizzle chickens. All those were types that you would find in the 18th century. And those first two are ones that are getting sort of endangered. They're not very common breeds. And there's a good article that Colonial Williamsburg has. I'll put a link down in the description section of this video that will take you to that very interesting article that they've written about 18th century chickens. Clinton Payne, and he's asking on the egg preservation video, he says, how can I store potatoes in an old-fashioned way in a modern setting and a small space? Well, I'm not sure about the small space part of it. There's a great 18th century text that has some potato references in it. William Ellis writes in the mid-18th century, and he's talking about potatoes. He says to harvest your potatoes in late September, right after Michaelmas, and then lay out your potatoes. Don't wash them, but just lay them out. He says leave the dirt on them. Lay them out to dry. He says in the sun, but I would do that in the shade. And then you can store them in layers of straw. So dry straw, put in potatoes. Probably you don't want them touching each other. Another layer of straw, more potatoes on the top. And keep them cool and dry. And make sure that they don't freeze. And that was his suggestion for storing potatoes. And I think that pretty much connects with what you'll find today in long-term potato storage. Paul Giacchino asks on the Earthen Oven in 24 Hours video, he says, nice, what's the music that you use? All the music in all of our recent videos has been done by Jim's Red Pants. And this is their brand new CD. In fact, I got this sample copy today. We carry their CDs in our catalog and on our website, and I'll make sure this one's up in the next day or so. So if you're interested in their music, you can find it on our website. And our final comment came today from Twitter. David Reedy says, I enjoy the beef and peas stew this weekend from James Townsend and Son. Since I'm in South New Mexico, I added green chilies too. And, at first we thought that was kind of funny, green chilies in there, but really that's a very common thing that would happen in the 18th century. Anybody who's in a new area or in a different area than what was typical, they would adapt all those recipes that they were used to and put in whatever the local specialty was. So green chilies is a perfect addition to this if that's what's in your area. Oh, and by the way, if you're a Twitter user, make sure to look us up on Twitter. There'll be a link down in the description. And finally, I've got a question for you. We've been really thinking about the idea of sort of longer interviews or podcasts. And what I really would like to know is whether you guys out there would be interested in podcast type content. So if you listen to podcasts or you're interested in that, make sure to give a comment down in the comment section. I want to thank everyone for all their great comments. They're wonderful questions, and you guys are all so kind, and you really have so many great things to ask us. I want to thank everyone for all your input, and thanks for watching. If you're a new viewer and you haven't subscribed, press the subscribe button up here. That'll take you to a spot where you can subscribe. That really is the best way to get notification of all the new videos that are out. I want to thank everyone for watching.